if you're here and you didn't do it, you get 3 points, and that's the highest you can get.
Correct.
And if you're not here and you have that day,
Day plus 2 days.
And also, are we doing the one after we take the chapter test? They can't turn
Yeah, after a chapter test is taken, you can no longer turn in past work prior to that.
Yeah. So we're really kind of kicking it a notch up on the homework. Okay. So that's what you guys got to keep in mind.
All right, that Thursday, I have it highlighted for a reason. Obviously, it's a chapter test, but I'm going to do something that I don't do. I'm taking Thursday off. My daughters are home, and they said, Dad, we want to ski with you. Of course, they're skiing this whole week, so Stone gets to hang out with a sub. Or if there's no sub that shows up, Stone gets paid double time. That's extra walking around money. Cool? All right, so page 111, we're going to walk through 1 through 6. So if you need to copy down whatever, let's see.
If you've already done it, this is a great time to just double check.
Yeah, make sure you did it right. Problem number 1, we have f of x. That's a fancy way of saying y, right? All right, how is this one set up for us to start figuring things out? Do I have to go do the ABC on it? To find the axis symmetry and all that stuff? No. Do I have the roots that are given to me on this one? No, I don't have 2 sets of parentheses. So this one has our vertex. So what is my x value of my vertex? It comes from inside there. What is my x value? No. No. Positive 2. Always opposite when it comes out of parentheses. And then what's my y value based on that? Positive 3. All right. What is my axis of symmetry by looking at just my vertex? Yeah, x equals 2. Very good. It's always the x component of the vertex. Okay, so x component of the vertex goes here, or axis of symmetry. And then I'm going to plot my vertex. So at 2, 1, 2, 3. It's right there. What's my pattern graph going to be? Is it going to be 1, 3, 5, or is it something different? It's 1, 3, 5. Why? Yeah, we have a 1 out front, so it just stays as 1, 3, 5. So from here, I'm going to go right 1 up 1, left 1 up 1, right 1 up 3, left 1 up 3. Okay, so notice a few things about this graph. We have the y-intercept right there. We could easily count. We could say, oh, that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 0, 7. Are there any roots on this problem that are real roots? No. How do we know? Yeah, so no real roots because no crossing of the x-axis. Make sense? Cool. That problem's done. Okay. Now, things that the test might ask you. Things that the test might ask you. It might say, hey, what is the y-intercept? And you put the y-intercept. Hey, what is the axis of symmetry? Put the axis of symmetry. Hey, what is the vertex? You put the vertex. Will it ask you about the roots? That's possible. Okay, so I think any one of those 4 things, I would say 3 of those 4 things will be asked on every problem you graph. Okay? Notice the axis of symmetry, friends. I have it as x equals 2. So on the take-home test, make sure that you're putting like, don't just go 2. No, x equals 2. You just put 2, I'm taking 1 point off. Because 2 is just a number, x equals 2 is a vertical line. Okay, so I'm just telling you that in advance. Make sense?
And also, too, a lot of people were asking, like, well, do I need to put roots down? But it wasn't asking for roots. Your question, so whenever you're working on a problem, whatever it's asking you to answer, that's all you got to answer. You don't need to add anything extra, if that makes sense.
Hey, I didn't make it the neon color purple,
Pink,
pink, whatever it was.
fluorescence, pink.
Yeah, the stuff that you guys are going blind, you're walking around outside, you're going, can't see anything because it burns your retinas.
Are we doing yellow
Um,
or red orange?
I have the take-home test on one color and the test is white. But I can't remember. I guess they'll find out because I'll be handing out the test here, or take-home test soon. All right. Hey, oh, is it okay I moved off that problem? We good? Everyone happy? All right. Pasting. All right. Problem number 2. Problem number 2. We have y equals x minus 6 and x minus 2. What does this way tell us? It says it. The roots. Very good. This one is set up for us to get the roots. Okay? So x minus 6 gives me what root? 6 comma 0. Very good. What does x minus 2 give me as a root? 2 comma 0. Notice the signs are opposite. It went from a negative 6 to a 6 to be the point. It went from a negative 2 to a 2 as the point. So I have 2 here. And I have 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go, right there. All right. Those are our roots. Hey, friends, if one of the questions on here is what's the roots, guess what we have? The roots. Now, it's going to probably ask us, what is the axis of symmetry? What do you know about the axis of symmetry other than being x equals, it's what? It's in the middle. So I'm going to come in the middle. I'm going to come in 1, I'm going to come in 1. Okay, I can't come in anymore because there's only 1 left. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. So x equals 4 is my axis of symmetry.
What does the axis of symmetry have in common with our vertical?
Vertex.
Vertex. God, I do that every time. Vertex, what is it?
Yeah, it's the x value of our vertex. What do I do with this x value of our vertex to get the y value? Plug it in. So you get 4 minus 6, and that gives me negative 2. And then I go 4 minus 2, which gives me positive 2. So if I multiply those together, negative 2 and positive 2, that gives me what? Negative 4. So 4, negative 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll do a different color because. All right. Okay. How's the pattern graph going to be on this one? Is it 1, 3, 5? Yep. There's a 1 out in front of this, so my pattern graph is going to go with 1, 3, 5. So I'm going to go right 1, up 1, left 1, up 1. If I went right 1, up 5, it's going to take me to my roots. Okay. That's my parabola. Now, I'm not sure if this is going to say it, but let's just say we wanted to find the y-intercept. The y-intercept is 0, comma, something. Okay? My pattern graph has not given me the y-intercept as it sits. Agree? But notice the y-intercept, I know it's 0 in the x spot. So what do you think I could do with that 0 to my original equation? Yeah, I'm going to plug it in for the x's. So I'm going to get 0 minus 6 and 0 minus 2. And we do the math, that's going to give me negative 6 times negative 2. And that's going to give me positive 12. So my grid only goes from 0 to 10. Okay, so this one's off the chart. So we might have to know how to find the y-intercept by plugging 0 in to the original equation. It might give it to us because our pattern graph did not yield it. And someone might say, well, could I just keep pattern graphing? The answer is yes, but you're still going to get to 12, and 12 is still off our grid. Okay? Everybody happy? I know I'm happy. I'm happy to see you guys. Especially you and you and you and you and you and you. All right. Are we ready to go to problem number 3? Problem number 3 is set up as this. My friends, this one did not find us the roots. This one did not find us the vertex right off the bat. So what do we have to do? ABC. So I have to realize I have a 1 out front. So A equals 1, B equals -6, C equals 8. Open up makes sense, yes? Okay, the A value is positive. Okay, that's telling us up. Then I'm going to find my axis of symmetry, which is x equals -b over 2a, which is x equals -6 over 2 times 1. Negative is positive. 6 over 3 is, or 6 over 2 is 3. So that's my axis of symmetry. Okay. What's special about the axis of symmetry and the vertex? Yeah, I have the x value of the vertex right away. That's my x value. In order to find the y value, what am I going to do with this 3? Plug it in. So 3 squared is 9, minus 18, plus 1, or plus 8. So that's going to give me -1 if I do the arithmetic. So 3 -1 is right here. What's my pattern graph going to do? Is it 1, 3, 5, or is it 2, 6, 10, or is it something different? It's 1, 3, 5. The reason it's 1, 3, 5 is because that A value was 1. Yeah, right one, up one, found a root. Left one, up one, found a root. Okay, so if the question down below says, hey, what are the roots? My roots are 2, 0 and 4, 0. Okay. Hey, does anyone know what my y-intercept would be? 0, 8. Excellent. Remember, the y-intercept, when it's set up like this, is always 0, c, and we found my c value to be this. So we could graph that. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's up here. Notice we're 3 away, so I go 1, 2, 3 away. So I get that value, which is great. And my pattern graph, so right one up 1, right one up 3, left one up 3, right one up 5. We've already found it. It's there. Oh, happy day. What do you think, friends? You thinking this test is going to be like knocking it out of the ballpark? I hope so. Hey, what day did I say I was going to have the, what day am I handing out the take-home test? Today. What day will the take-home test video be up? Tomorrow. And by the end of the day, I'll have it up for you, okay? Notice on the days on what I had done before, just reminding you, going back in time, okay? Are any of those days a day that we are going over the take-home test? So that means you must be having to watch a video. Agree? Yeah. You watch the video, you know I will put in that video, I will put every single detail I can, and you can put every single detail that you need on there. My opinion, watch me do, if you know how to do it, maybe try it, or get an idea of how to do it, and then maybe watch that one video first, and then hit pause, and then write down everything you need to write. Make sure you realize why you're writing it down. Okay?
How many pages is the chapter test?
It's a front, back, front at a minimum, I think.
What I also would suggest, as a lot of you are really stressed out about the test, take the take-home test and take it like it's a test. Like, do that first, take it like based off your knowledge that you have. Then when you're done with that, double check your answers with the video. Because then that way you can see how you answered it, and then you can see what was your errors. But then you can figure out, okay, this is the area I'm going to struggle the most in. Maybe I should watch a video on, say, this exact graph. See what I mean? So that's kind of that process.
And yeah, I've seen a lot of you, you'll just watch the video, which I praise you for, and you'll just write down what I wrote, but you have zero comprehension of how to do the problem, and you think you're just going to kind of roll the dice when it gets to the test. And some of you have not gotten the best marks on tests because I think that's what you're doing. You're letting me lead you or letting Miss Stone lead you too much. So we just got to make sure. Dude, we got spring break coming up next week, yeah?
Yeah.
That should be good. I'm excited for it. Don't worry, I'll miss you guys. I'll miss you for at least one of the 9 days. Nuri, I'll miss you for 2 though. All right. Hey, friends. How about this number 4 up there? How about this number 4? Is there nothing there? So nothing means 0 there. So this one's set up to find what? Do I have to do ABC? Or does it get me right to the vertex? All right, so what's my x value going to be? Positive 1. What's my y value going to be? 0. Hey, is positive 0 and negative 0 the same thing? Yeah, until you get to calculus, which becomes a limit where you're approaching. But it's the same thing for you right now. All right, so 1, 0, right there. What's my axis of symmetry? Careful. No, 1 is right, but if you just give me 1 for an answer, or 0, 0's... Oh, wait. Dude, what does syrup do right here? You made a mistake. 1, 0. I'm sorry. So my axis of symmetry has to be what? X equals 1. Notice I have X part of it. Friends, if you just put 1 down, you're going to miss 1 point. You don't want to miss a point there. You want as many points as you possibly can get. And for being lazy, saying, I'm not going to put X because, my goodness, we have to save the lead. Don't worry. Stirrup knows where a big old stash of pencils is. I keep stealing them. It's a good stash. Won't tell you where it's at. It's awesome. And what's funny is I'll go in and look at the stash, and whoever puts that's their stash will add more pencils to it. And I keep snagging a fistful every time.
I know, I need some. I've been out for
I was thinking about stealing all the little pencils from church. I go to a big church too. There'd be like 10,000 pencils. Where do you get all the pencils from? Stirrup stealing. All right, hey, my pattern graph is going to be what? Pattern graph is going to be what? Negative 1 through 5. You are absolutely right. Why is it negative 1, negative 3, negative 5 in this case? That negative right there. So I'm going to go right 1 down 1, left 1 down 1, right 1 down 3, left 1 down 3, and so trick question. Do I have a root or roots? A root. My root happens to be the vertex. Agree? That's okay. My axis of symmetry, we said, was this. So we have the axis of symmetry. Do I know the y-intercept because my pattern graphing led me to it? I sure do. That 0, negative 1. Friends, if my pattern graph did not lead me to getting the y-intercept, what can I do with the part of the y-intercept to get the rest of it? I could plug what into what? The x. What's the x value of the y? What's the x value? What's the x value of the y-intercept? 0. So I plug 0 back into the original. I'd get 0 minus 1. That's negative 1. Negative 1 squared is 1. Times that negative outside, negative 1. Yeehaw. We made it. Friends, I feel I'm pretty good about this stuff. I think y'all are going to walk in the spring break going, dude, brought my grade up at Stirrups class and Stone's class. Feeling good about stuff. What did I do? Oh, just all these comments. I was like, well, what did I do wrong? All right. Paste. All right, number 5. All right. What's this one set up to do? What do we know because of this one? Do we know roots? We know vertex. Set up in vertex form. What's the x value of my vertex? 1. What's my y value of my vertex? -5. The axis of symmetry, thank you, is x equals 1. Don't miss that point. So x equals 1 is right down here. All right. My vertex is going to be 1, -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pattern graph's going to do what, friends? It's going to be double. It's going to be 2, 6, 10. Why is it 2, 6, 10 and not 1, 3, 5? Got a 2 outside there. Make sense? All right, ready? Right one up 2. Left one up 2. Right one up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Left one up 6. There's plenty to do there. Does this cross the x-axis?
Yes.
So here's a question. Roots. Do I know any of the roots based on my pattern graphing? I don't. I see that it crosses. It crosses here and it crosses here. My pattern graphing doesn't lead to it. So if you have roots here, I probably won't have it ask for roots in this situation. But I just want you to realize there are roots that truly do exist. In fact, our roots are 1 plus or minus the square root of 5 over 2. It is a fraction. It is a fraction. 1 plus or minus the square root of 5 over 2. You're like, what is this you speak of, Stirrup?
Well, would our roots have, like, on the test, are we have fraction roots or no?
No, they should come out exact. If your pattern graph does not give you an exact root, meaning your dot when you're counting did not fall right on there, I'm not expecting you to find the root. Okay, that's like so next chapter. I mean, we have all of after spring break to worry about figuring out irrational roots. Kid you not. And we have a really bad song that goes with it. You're going to hate us. Huh.
Are we graphing the rest of the year?
Huh?
Are we graphing for like the rest of the year?
No, we learned how to solve quadratics. So you set it equal to 0, and we learned how to factor that first. So we kind of started doing it. But then not all of them factor. Okay. Hey, what's my y-intercept? 0, comma what? 1, 2, -3. Sweet. Thank you. Axis of symmetry, we know that. That's there. Cool. Oh, perfect. This is good. Oh, I'm feeling good about myself. I only have one problem left to do for y'all today. Is that okay? Dude, best day ever. All right, so problem number 6, my friends. I have f at x equals x plus 2 and x minus 2. This is the simplest problem that people mess up on. What does this find me? Finds me what? Roots. This one gives me -2 comma 0. Agree? This one gives me 2 comma 0. What's halfway between +2 and -2? So x equals 0 is the axis of symmetry. All right. So what should I do to get the rest of my vertex? I know that it's 0 comma something. Yeah, I'm going to put a 0 there. So I'm going to get 0 plus 2 is 2. 0 minus 2 is -2. 2 times -2 is -4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What's the y-intercept? 0, -4. So y-intercept is, in this case, the vertex. Is my pattern graph going to do any weird growth, or is it going to be 1, 3, 5? Yeah, there's a 1 out front there, so it's going to be 1, 3, 5. So I'm going to go right one up 1, left one up 1. Right one up 3 gets me to my roots. Sweet. We got this nice parabola. These are roots. Root.
I'm rooting for the root.
I like the root. So my friends, really what comes down to is page 112, 7 through 12. You know it's going to be sad tomorrow? When Stone comes rolling around and you show her page 111, 112, and page 111 is blank because we worked it all out in class. That's pretty pathetic sometimes. I actually might make fun of you to your face rather than behind your back this time.
You don't do that. You say you do.